Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Arshad, and in our last lecture we learned how we can create a report with a form, and our report section completed now. In this lecture we will see how we can create forms in Oracle Apex. So let's start. Open your browser and go to Apex, enter your password. App Builder, select your application and then create new page. And now we have covered blank page, reports. These two sections has been completed now, and today we will see how we can create forms in Oracle Apex. Click on form. So here we have multiple options to create a form, report with form. This is the same as we covered in our reports section, and editable interactive grid. This is basically similar to reports with form with some enhanced features. So let's go with the simple form. Here provide the page name, and name of the page is form underscore simple. It's a simple form. Okay, and then we have page mode, which is normal, branch here on submit, cancel, and go to the page. So here we have option when we click on submit, where we will be redirected. So I want whenever I click on submit, I must be redirected to my home page. So select one, which is our home page, and cancel on go to page, and on cancel I want to move to my home page. Click on next, create new navigation menu entry, next, and here we need to provide the table on which I want to create my form. Let's take departments table, next. So this is the same as we seen in our report with form section. So I click on managed by database. If you have if your table have primary key, you can select column of your primary key, but I am going with managed by database. Create, and now your form has been created successfully. Click on run your page, and here we have a page. Click on department ID. Let's suppose I said it's department ID 50, and department name is code temp, and manager ID is 10, and location ID is, let me check, location and manager ID. Go to save this form, go to object browser and departments, and here we have data, and here we have department ID 10 and manager ID is 200, and location ID is 1700. Okay, location ID is 1700, and department ID, let me check how many departments exist. Okay, 50 150, and here we have department ID 200. Okay, click on create. So here we have two buttons. Cancel. On cancel, I will be redirected to my home page, and when I click on create, I will be redirected to the same home page. Okay, click on create. Unique constraints, department ID PK violated. Okay, select department ID 5000. Click on create. Aggregator department manager about parent key not found. Okay, manager ID not exists. So manager ID is 200. Okay, manager ID is 200. Click on create. So a row created successfully. So move to your object browser and click on data. So at the end of this, you can see here we have 5000 department ID, and name of the department is code camp, which we have created right now. So go to the page designer. Here you can see we have page designer, and in page designer we have these text fields, and then we have different buttons: cancel, delete, save, and create. And on create we have here we have a behavior section, and on behavior we have submit the page, and here we have another option which is uh, okay. This is database action. So here we have database action is SQL insert action. Here we have update delete action as well. So when I click on this button, uh, one row inserted in our database. Here you can provide server-side conditions. For example, you want to say when item is null, when item is not null, and then you have to select the item. So similarly, we have cancel option. When you click on cancel button, similarly here we have in behavior we have a action section. On action, redirect to the page, and on which page, click on this, and you can see when I click on cancel, where I will be redirected to which is page number 1. You can change the page number on by clicking this, and you can select the page whatever you want. So that's it. This is our first form in Oracle Apex. Now the disadvantage of this one is this type of form creates the record in the database automatically. And one thing you must know, this is the thing which is our process. So process form simple. This is this process created automatically when we create the form. Basically this process is a default process, and it process your items of the form and insert data into the database. So if you want to do manipulations before insertion into our database, you cannot do that modifications. So if you want to do modifications, then you have to create your blank page, and then you have to add items on that page, and to submit data into the database you need to write your own process. So let's start how we can create our own process, or how we can create a form and submit values to our database. So create a page, and here we have a blank page. Create, and name of this page is custom form. Next, and this is a summary of your blank page. Click on finish. So in our simple form, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fields and one button. So go to your page, create a new region, and rename this region with departments, information. Then type of the region is static content. Now we need to add items. Create page item. This is our first item. We need 4 items. Click on this, create page item, then click it again and create page item, and then create page item. Now we have 4 items. The first one is department ID, then department name, rename it DEPT underscore ID. This is department ID. This is DEPT underscore department name, and then we have third one is manager ID. So rename it manager ID, and this is, which is last one is location ID. So create location ID, location ID. Okay, now we need to create a button, create button, and button name is save. So that's it. Run your form. So this is the form we created right now. Now we can enter different fields. Now we need to change labels of these fields. Department name, and label of department name as name. Here we have manager ID, change its label from new to manager ID, and then location ID, rename it location ID, and then we have a button. So save it and go to processing, right click, create process, name it add underscore department, add department, and here we have a type of process, execute code, and then we have a source option, and language is PLSQL, and then we have PLSQL code. So here we need to write insert statement to insert data into our departments table. So let me first check table, and here we have these columns. Here you can go to SQL, and here we can select table and its columns. Go to here, Control V, and write your command, insert into departments, and here we have columns, department ID, then we have department name, and then we have manager ID, and then we have location ID. And then values. To access text field values in your PLSQL code, you need a specific syntax to access text field values in PLSQL code. So syntax is very simple. Press colon and then name of the text field. So first text field is a department ID. So P17 and this one is department ID. Basically, this will this will get the value of your department ID and will place it into our database. So second one is P17 and department name. So here we have department name. Then we want to access text field value of manager ID, and here we have manager ID, and then we have location ID. So this is our location ID. So that's it. This will insert a new record in our database, and now we need to combine. So that's it. Validate this query. Click on it. Column not allowed here. Okay, which column is not? Okay, we need to add column over here. Validate. Okay, I missed. Okay, I think it's fine now. So your query validated now. Press on OK. So this is the process we created now. So run your page. So this is our custom form. Provide department ID. Let me check. Last department ID, I think so, is 500, 5000. Okay. Now add department ID 6000. Name of the department is custom, and then we have manager ID. Let me check. Manager ID is 200 and 1700. 200 and 1700. Click on save. So data saved in our database. So let me verify it. Refresh. Go to end of this, and here you can see we have our department 6000 and name of the department is custom. So in this way we can create our custom forms. Now here you can add a cancel button as well. So let's create a button, name it as cancel, and go to action. Behavior is action, redirect to page in this application, and here we need to link the page where we want to redirect. So I want to redirect on home page. Okay, now run this again. So here we have a cancel button as well. So need go to select your cancel page and start new row. Okay, of this one, refresh your form. Now will you see the cancel button in the same row. Now click on cancel. So you move to our home page. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.